Your dog is sitting outside the bathroom door right now. It's been there since the moment you closed it.
It wasn't startled by anything. It isn't in distress. It simply tracked you to the door, sat down, and decided that this hallway, 3 feet from a closed door, is exactly where it needs to be. Most people land on one of two explanations. The dog is anxious, or it just really loves you. Both of these answers are real. Neither of them is actually what's happening. Because the researchers who have spent the last 2 decades studying this behavior have ended up with a description that sounds almost nothing like either one. And once you hear it, that dog outside your door starts to look completely different. Dogs who follow their owners room to room have a name in the scientific literature: Velcro dogs. And the first instinct is to hear that as a diagnosis, that something went a little sideways developmentally. And this is the result. In 2013, a team at the Clever Dog Lab in Vienna designed a deceptively simple experiment.
They gave dogs a food dispensing puzzle they couldn't open on their own, and changed one variable:
whether the owner was present in the room. When the owner was there, the dog stayed with the puzzle longer.
They explored it, kept trying, stayed invested in something that wasn't paying off. When the owner left, they disengaged. Then the researchers tried something else. They had an unfamiliar person sit in the room instead, just to see if any human presence produced the same effect.
It didn't. A stranger provided nothing. The effect was entirely, specifically tied to the owner.
What this tells us, and this is the reframe, is that your dog isn't following you because it can't manage without you.
It's following you because with you around, it actually feels more capable. Researchers call it the secure base effect. Your dog uses your presence the way a small child uses a parent at the edge of a playground.
Not as a crutch, but as a reference point that makes the rest of the world feel navigable. The dog outside your bathroom door isn't waiting because it's fragile. It's waiting because with you on the other side, it's ready.
And something worth noting from that same study, dogs who showed no separation anxiety at all still pulled back when the owner left. No separation anxiety detected.
The secure base effect isn't a symptom of an anxious dog. It showed up in virtually all of them.
There's a second thing happening underneath the following, and it explains the physical mechanics of it in a way that's hard to unsee once you know it.
When dogs encounter something unfamiliar, an unexpected sound, an object that appeared overnight, a stranger at the door,
there's a behavior that happens automatically. They look back at you. Researchers at the University of Milan studied this directly.
They used a fan covered in green streamers and watched what 75 dogs did when they saw it.
83% of them, after looking at the fan, turned to look at their owner. And then, this is the part that matters. They adjusted what they did next, based entirely on what the owner's face was communicating.
Positive expression, the dog moved toward it. Negative, it moved away. Animal cognition researchers call this referential looking.
The dog is using you as a live source of information about the world it's trying to make sense of.
A companion study found something else. The two findings come from 2 separate papers, which makes them more compelling together, not less. Dogs don't just look. They actually change their behavior based on the emotional message they received.
Now think about what referential looking requires physically. To consult you, the dog has to be able to see you.
Which means all the room-to-room shadowing, all the presence at every doorway. Part of what's happening is positioning.
Your dog is maintaining continuous visual access to its primary information source. Every time your dog gets up because you moved rooms, that's not clinginess at work. That's keeping the consultation available for when something comes up.
Following is about staying connected, not about need. In households with more than one person, there's almost always one person the dog follows more.
Who works from home? The one who reaches for the lead. The one who most reliably predicts something worth paying attention to.
Who opens the fridge? Who reaches for the coat? Whose movement most often turns into something interesting? When you walk from the kitchen to the hallway, your dog isn't just tracking your body. It's tracking the odds that something relevant is about to happen.
Always monitoring. In unfamiliar spaces, that tracking takes a more visible form. A 2024 study from the Clever Dog Lab.
Steps they already know aren't the most efficient, rather than take a shorter path on their own. Mackey and Huber found this even held true for dogs that already had prior experience with the task. When the environment is new and the rules aren't clear, the strategy is to stay close and do what the person who knows does.
Intelligent uncertainty management. Closer to a navigation strategy than anything resembling submission. Not accidental. GTF2I and GTF2I RD1. What's remarkable about them isn't what they do in dogs, it's where else they show up.
In humans, the deletion of these same genes causes something specific called Williams-Buren syndrome.
It's characterized by extreme sociability, a compulsive drive to approach and connect with other people,
and an almost complete absence of the weariness that keeps most animals at a careful distance from strangers. Dogs and wolves have distinct relationships with humans. While dogs are our companions, wolves remain wild. Wolves don't carry these variants, dogs do. So the impulse behind what we call Velcro behavior, the tracking, the proximity, the inability to let you disappear around a corner without following, isn't primarily about how the dog was raised or what its early weeks looked like. Though those things matter too. At a measurable genetic level, it is a feature of what dogs are.
Good boy.
Come on, buddy. Let's go.
Your dog is following you because something was written into it specifically so that it would. Most Velcro dogs are completely fine. But there is one distinction worth understanding, because it changes what the behavior actually means.
In 2006, researchers at Tufts University found something that genuinely surprised people in veterinary behavioral medicine. Whoa!
Dogs with clinically diagnosed separation anxiety did not spend more time near their owners at home than dogs without it. The time near the owner was the same. Following everywhere and separation anxiety are not the same thing.
They can overlap, but following alone is not a sign of a clinical problem. The line between them is actually pretty clear once you know where to look. A Velcro dog can rest when you're home. It can be in a different room, settle after a moment, and be fine. It chooses to follow when the choice is available, but it doesn't fall apart when that choice is temporarily removed.
The anxiety shows up even when separation is only a few seconds, and it don't reduce, it compounds.